This is going to be a quick video. I get a lot of Airtex pumps in. I can tell they're Airtex because Airtex uses these drive screws, and they usually have a tag on it with the number. And I get a lot of these in because they just stop working. And I wanted to show you. I haven't taken this apart yet. This is the first time it's coming apart. So I want to show you exactly what I find if you happen to have an Airtex pump that you just bought, or it's been on your car for a while, and all of a sudden it stopped working. And you say, I didn't put that on very long ago. As you can tell, this one's kind of dirty. And just as I suspected, this is what happens. See these two valves? This one here, just kind of floating. It's supposed to be like that, but this is what happens. Is the valve just pops out. Just a poor design valve. Either this one will pop out or the other one will pop out. But needless to say, it's almost the same thing I come across every single time I have an Airtex pump. And I'm pretty sure this should be the inlet side. And this pump happens to go to a 63 Cadillac. I'm going to go through it and rebuild it, put in some right valves that are going to stay in there, and make a customer happy that they bought it. That's about it. Now, I'm not saying that all Airtex pumps are bad. It just so happens that this problem happens a lot on their pumps. They're a rather large company, but in any event, we're going to go through it, fix it up, make it like new. And maybe I'll do a video on this one. It's a pretty straightforward 10 screws, knock the valves out, take out the diaphragm, clean it all up, put new diaphragm assembly in it, new valves, new seal, new pulsated diaphragm on the top, and that's it. Sounds real quick, but it takes about an hour to do it. Another little odd thing that I find on a lot of pumps, not particularly just on Airtex. If you find your pump is pumping out oil, you're pumping oil out of the vent. There's usually a vent hole around in here. It's all covered with dirt. Anyway, if you find that you're pumping oil out, what's happened is this retainer and the seal is supposed to be stuck down in there, but for some reason they just they come apart, and oil gets up in here and then it pumps it out through the top. In fact, there's two little vent holes right up in here, and it's supposed to come out right there and over here, but they're all blocked up. I'll tell you what though, they never finished drilling them. So that would be a good reason why that seal is pushed off of there. The diaphragm, if these holes aren't drilled out and they don't come out through the top, what it does is it pressurizes this, and as soon as the diaphragm comes back up again, it pulls its seal right up off of the seat. Well, the oil can't go anywhere, but it's not right. It ends up all on the bottom of the diaphragm, and it eats the diaphragm up. And oh, I see what they did. See this slot right here? Comes out on the other side, right inside of here. So that looks like it was almost an afterthought. But still, with that seal lifting up like that, I run into one other one that it happened to be an Airtex pump too, and it wasn't drilled. And the first time the thing they started running it, it ripped the seal. Put oil up and through here, and just kept blowing it back and forth. Now I get it, rebuild it, not noticing that the vent holes aren't drilled out, and I replace everything. And as soon as you start moving that arm, and as it gets in the car, it's going to create a tremendous vacuum in here, and then, like I said, it pulls that seal right up, or it just tears it. But in this case, it wasn't due to that. The seal just pulled off. It was just a bad staking. I wanted to give you another little warning. When installing these valves, the ledges on these, one's a little higher than the other. Plus you can see this diameter of the hole is bigger than the other. It'll tell you which position to put the valves in. I'm going to be real careful with this one here. These valves go in pretty tough, but you got to be real careful when it bottoms out, because it's not very thick, and you can break through. So my suggestion is, obviously the deeper one goes on this side, and the shallow one goes on the other side. Whatever you're using to drive it with, just go real easy. Every once in a while, stop, check underneath. You can tell when it's sitting down, when it's made contact all the way in. That was just to make sure. Same thing with the other side. If I can find the gasket. This side here is a little bit thicker, as you can see. It's got a pretty decent shoulder on it. Pretty strong, but still. Just do constant taps with it, with the hammer and the driver, and let it just work its way down. You're looking inside and you can tell that it's seated all the way. Just go easy with it. Try to avoid breaking it. Put on the pulsator, diaphragm, and the cover. Tighten the screws down. You want to put the seal in here. This is the way it goes. You'll see the little ledge in there sits right down over the top and goes right inside. That same driver that you used for the valves, drive it in, get a flat blade screwdriver, one that you don't use a lot of, or take a small chisel and flatten out the end like I did. Dent the casting in 4 spots. That'll keep that seal from lifting up, keep that retainer from lifting up. Put a spot of oil on this, or grease, whatever you got. You don't want that diaphragm to run dry. Pull rod, I mean. This spring, this is what controls your fuel pressure. A stronger spring, higher pressure. A weaker spring, obviously, lower pressure. Line everything up. You want to push the diaphragm down inside and try to hook it. You're hooking it on a link that's inside. And we're ready for the fuel section. Get your screws, get 2 of them, one in each opposite each other. Pull it down a little bit, run the screws through, catch 2 of them about halfway down, and then put the rest of them in, but don't tighten them. Another one of those things that's really important. This surface here goes in it. The surface here, they have to be nice and flat. Same thing with the surface here. Even though you got a decent thickness diaphragm that's in there, if there's a little divot that you don't see, you'll end up with a leak. So make sure that those surfaces, anywhere that the diaphragm is going to, or the diaphragm material is going to sandwich, you want to make sure that it's nice and flat. Now, like I said, run 2 screws in and line them up. Run them about halfway down, just enough to catch it and hold it. It's easier if you use the arm to pull that diaphragm down inside. Remember, don't run it down all the way. Put in the rest of the screws the same way, just don't tighten them. Now, just to make life a little easier, an adjustable wrench. Put it on the end of the arm to give you some leverage. Pull that up, pull that arm up so it pulls the diaphragm right down the side, right to the very end. Now tighten up at least 4 of the screws, opposite each other. What you're doing is you're preloading the diaphragm. You make it last longer, keep it from stretching out. Just make sure 4 of those screws are down tight. Now you can release the pressure off it, tighten down all the rest of the screws. Alright, now you can do a kind of a quick test. That noise you're hearing is the noise of the sound of success. With the arm in the down position, relaxed, put your finger over the inlet and try to pull the arm up. It'll try to suck your finger in. Hopefully the wrench won't fall off. For the outside. Pull the arm up, hover it, let it go. You'll feel pressure there. This pump's ready to go. If you feel that there's a problem with the pin, if the arm twists at all, if the arm will twist, or there's a lot of play in it, and this play is fine, because this is just taking up the play in the spring. You'd have to take out this pin. Usually one end of it, there'll be a washer. It's shaped like a D. Just cut the washer, drive the pin out. This one here, the pins come out a little bit. So we're going to drive it back where it belongs. And I'm going to dimple the casting to keep it from sliding out. Again, back with my blunt chisel. All you're doing is denting the casting. It'll keep the pin from sliding out. It works. It's ready. This is an AC 6744 63 Cadillac, and if you'd like to get in touch with us to order a kit, read that number that's stamped into the mounting flange, and also give the person that you talk to on the phone the application so that he can double check and make sure that that particular pump is right for that particular car. And you can get us by phone at 781-335-8860 or on the web at then-now.com. And I hope this helps. Stay safe out there. Leave a comment down below. Subscribe and hit the little bell, and you'll get notified of when another video comes up. If you'd like me to do one on the same pump that you have, leave a note in there, leave a message, and I'll see what I can do. Thanks for watching.